National Headquarters is Joe Schrepper, and he is Enterprise Architect. So today we'll be going over the MyLCI tips and tricks for club officers. So to start off, I want to run a little poll here. If we have a show of hands, who are club officers? Almost everyone, okay. Next, any district officers?
You're club chair.
Okay, great. And last one, anyone sponsoring a Leo club? Got a few, okay. So, to start off, we have the MyLCI homepage. Provides you with some of the information that you will use, that you'll find useful for your daily needs. So first, we have the My Task panel, which will show, based on what role you're logged in as, with pending tasks for the current month. We have the My Club panel, which shows your club's personalized information, like your meeting location, your club's web address. Next, we have the My Info panel. It will display basic information for yourself, such as contact information, email address, your home street address. Next, we have the My Members panel, which will show you your current status for your membership reporting. Next, we have My Service Activities, which will show the yearly total for your club's service activities. And we have the My Officers panel, which usually will display the officers above your level, and you can contact these officers for help. Okay, next on the MyLCI homepage, we have some customizable links on here. For one, we have the Select the Language bar. From here, you can select any language we have available at the top, and the page will display in that language. Next, if you hold more than one title, we have the Select a Different Title button. By default, you will log in as your highest ranked title. So if you switch to a different title, you will go here to accomplish that. Next, we have the Support Center, which actually displays on every page of MyLCI. It has guides and information on how to assist you with using MyLCI. Next, on the Support Center, we do have the training area. When you access the training area, you can practice submitting membership and activity reports. And it will not affect live data. And at the bottom of the homepage, we have the online directory link. It will help you to search for club officers or clubs. And last, we have our release notes section, which we implemented recently. It will show any enhancements and fixes that we recently put into MyLCI. To start off here, from the My Lions Club menu is where you're going to be doing most of your work as a club officer. So from the My Lions Club menu, when we access the members page, you will see the Add Member button, which will allow you to either add a brand new member, reinstate a member, or transfer a member to your club. Next, we have Report No Change for a month. Select this option if you currently don't have any membership transactions for the month. And last, we have the Edit Member, Drop Member, and Create Family Unit. The Edit Member allows you to edit basic member information. Drop Member, remove member from your club. And the Create Family Unit button will allow you to add, edit, or remove family units from the club. And when you add a new member, drop a new member, you want to make sure that you do see this membership confirmation page. Very key to that. Okay. Next, on the members page, we have the Find Members filter option. So from here, you can select a filter between your club's active members, student members, drop members, add to line members, which shows you all the line members that were added for this current fiscal year, associate members, life members, pending transfers, and new members who currently do not have a sponsor. And also on the Find Members page, we have the Advanced Search feature. This nice feature allows you to search by a member number, a name, their gender, when their join date was. Very nice feature we have here if you want to get to specific members. Okay, next from the My Lions Club menu, we have the Club Info page. On this page, it will allow you to update the club web URL address, the club meeting location, which will then appear on the Find a Club website for others to see. As you can see in the right side, we have the club website link. Okay, next we have the MyLCI Club Officers page. From this page, it will allow you to select a term, which you can select from the current year officers, next year's officers, or present year's officers, which show previous officers from your club. We also have the officer type, which you can select between officers and local titles. We have the Add Local Title button, which will allow you to assign local titles to your club and assign officers. We have the Add Officer button, which will allow you to add a member to that officer title. And we have the End Officer Term button, which will remove that member from that officer title. Just before with the membership page, you want to make sure you receive a confirmation page after removing or assigning an officer. Okay, next we have the MyLCI Service Activities page. This page provides you with access to add an activity, view print activities, and in this case, whichever activities you view on that page, we'll be able to view and print on that report. Find activities. This will allow you to search for activities by a specific month, theme, campaign, category, or search for activities from around the world. The Edit Activity button, and also the Delete Activity button. Now I'm going to show you the process on how to add a new activity. Start off with, we go ahead and select the month. If available, we will select the signature activity from the list. Then we'll go ahead and assign an activity type. From here, clicking the Assign Activity button will bring up this dialog box. And as you can see from some of these different selections, we have these little icons that appear here. Those that have icons can be used for centennial reporting. Next, we enter the activity title. Then we add an activity description. By default, the Share This Story is checked. What that means is that this will display on the Find a Club page, or it will be viewable by other officers in MyLCI. And we have the Centennial Service Challenge box. So when you select an activity type, if it did have one of those icons, this would pre-populate with the right circle checked. But if you would like, you can also select any other one from that option. And last, we have the Upload Image feature. And once again, after you add an activity, you want to make sure you receive the confirmation page. And since this one was a centennial activity that we submitted, you will see that it displays that this was qualified for a Centennial Service Challenge Award. And also, one more thing I'd like to add here. On the bottom, we have these Nintendo Service Challenge categories. Whichever one that you have already had an activity for will have checked off right here. Okay, and as said before, with the share this activity, the activity will display on the Find a Club page for your club. Okay, next we have the MyLCI statements page. This page will provide you with the current club balance, the Make a Payment button. This is viewable by only club treasurers. And that will give them the ability to either pay by credit or debit card, or newly added by PayPal. Next, you can either opt in or out for paper statements. And at the bottom, we have statements and invoices. So this will allow you to view or print up to 3 years' worth of statements and semi-annual dues. And as you can see here at the top, we have previous fiscal years to select from. Okay, next we have the MyLCI reports page. I'm going to go over about 3 of the reports that are available on this page for you. And the first one is monthly membership report. So this will allow you to view a specific month's membership transactions. So as you can see, I entered in 2015 and the month 06. You want to make sure you follow that specific format, otherwise the report will not run. And here's an example of that report. As you can see on the top, it shows the totals of the club, how many members were added, dropped, transferred. And on the bottom section, it goes into more details of those membership transactions. Okay, the next report we have here is the club roster of membership data. This report will list the club members with membership type, join dates, and other membership-related information. And here is the example of that report. As you can see, it goes member by member, shows data like year of birth, how many years they've been a member for, and also their highest office held. Okay, and the next one is the club officer report. This one will list the club officers for this year or next year based on which report you choose. So we have either the Lions Club Officer Report for current year or the Lions Club Officer Report for next year. And once again, here's an example of that report. Okay, the next menu on the MyLCI menu is the data download page. The data download page provides you with the ability to download specific data for club members, or download specific data for current or next year's officers. So the key to this is if you want to download for members only, leave the club officers unchecked. Now if you want to download for club officers only, of course you would mark these as checked. Okay, next we have the MyLCI membership cards page. This page will allow you to select the paper size you're going to print your cards with. Choose the color option, whether you want to print in color or on black and white. Select a good standing until date. You can then select the members from the active member box, which you want to print your cards for. Or you can remove members from the selected members box. So basically, any members that will appear in this selected members box, you can print cards for those members. So they're going to transfer from the active members to selected members when you click on their name. Okay, next we're going to go to the My District menu, and from there we have the club sub menu. From here, the MyLCI District Clubs page provides a list of clubs in the district, the ability to filter clubs in the district, and also the ability to add a new club to your district. Now we're going to go into the new club application process, which was newly implemented this past fiscal year. What we allow is we allow club officers, president or secretary of a sponsoring club, to add their club using MyLCI now. So there are 6 stages in the new club application. The first one is pending submission. The next one is pending district governor authorization. Third one is pending LCI authorization. Fourth is pending completion. Fifth is pending LCI final approval. And the last stage is approved. So the application stages that concern club officers the most would be the pending submission stage and the pending completion stage. The pending submission stage is where the creation of the new club application starts. This is where you're going to give the club's name, amount of members you expect to be in that club, and your sponsoring club you want to assign to that club as well. Then we have the pending completion stage, which during that stage, charter members and officers can be added to that club. So the first stage we want to go over here is the pending submission stage, the very first one. So we're going to go through the process here. So the first section is the new club information section. This is where you're going to enter in the name of the club, what type of club it is, select the sponsoring club for it, if you're not the sponsoring club already, and also the club language. Like I said before, we have the sponsoring club selection. Then next we can assign the president and secretary of the club. It will ask for basic information like first name, last name, year of birth, and email address. Next we have the estimated number of charter members for the club. And to get the submission to the next stage, we will need to have at least 20 charter members for that club. Next, we have the club criteria, which you will need to read this form here first before submitting it and make sure that box is checked. Once that box is checked, click on the Save button. And if you want to input any comments onto this record, you're more welcome to do so. After the Save button is clicked, you will receive this confirmation page that it has been submitted to District Governor for authorization. And at this time, notification email is sent to District Governor with copies sent to the sponsoring club president and secretary. Okay, now we're at the pending completion page. So once a District Governor approves of this and moves to LCI for review, it will then go back to the club officers to submit their members and officers. Once it comes back to pending completion, the email notification was sent to District Governor, sponsoring club officers, and new club officers. And like I said before, during the pending completion stage, this is where the charter members and officers are assigned. So now we're at the MyLCI pending final approval stage. So the confirmation page displays that the application has been submitted to LCI for review. The total charter fees due will be displayed on there. An invoice where the total charter fee was emailed. And full payment is required for final approval. Okay, and once LCI approves the final approval, the application is moved into newly chartered status, and the club is now newly chartered. And at this time, notification email is sent to district governors, sponsoring club officers, and new club officers. All right, and if there are any questions after the seminar is over, we do encourage you to either email us at mylci@lionsclubs.org or give us a phone call at 630-468-6900. Okay, now we'll open up for questions.
Hello, my name is Ron from Sydney, Australia. When I'm on the members page as a club officer, I find it difficult to print all of the members on that page, even if I reduce that page to minimum of 10. Is there a way of doing that?
Actually, I would recommend going to the reports page. So if we go to the My Lions Club's reports page, you'll find a couple reports specific for club roster. So if you're looking for just names, there is a club roster report, or we also have the club membership data report, which will contain all the club members with their contact information.
And I want to print all of the members with their contact.
And they'll all be in that report.
Following the same line of thought, but if you're doing a search for add members only or drop members, you find it difficult once again to print it. Can you do some sort of PDF or something?
From the My Members page, you could probably, that would probably be more.
He's saying yes.
Maybe I'll take that one.
Okay.
So we didn't really design pages to use the web browser print.
Okay.
So if there's not a print that
Right.
we provide on the page,
You can't do
the page, well, you can at your own risk,
Yeah.
basically. Long term, we will have a print on every page, and there will be a printable version of every
Okay.
page.
Otherwise, we'll have to do the same thing. You just make it minimal and print very open.
The other alternative is the data download
Okay.
that you can download to a spreadsheet and then print however you want.
All right.
to print it.
Good to know. Thank you.
I'm incoming district treasurer, and what I need 1st of July, or actually June 30th, is a list of all the clubs and the membership for that club. And there's nowhere in there to do that, other than just print out. I have 64 clubs. I have to print out about 15 pages to get that information.
Are you familiar with the cumulative reports?
Now,
Okay.
usually you just come up and pull it.
Yeah, well, we do have two things. One is a new feature on the My Districts. There's clubs. So on that page, you see a list of your clubs. And you can also filter that on new clubs and canceled clubs and status quo
I just want
clubs.
the total
Active
clubs
clubs.
and the membership
Yeah.
number. That's
Yeah.
all I want.
And also on your homepage, when you log in as a district officer, the My Clubs is not about your club. My Clubs is about your district. So you see the numbers by status, basically. And your My Members is the statistics of members in your district.
2 years ago, I could do it on 2 pages. You know, had the membership and then just a list of the clubs and the membership total. But now I got to list the whole.
Yeah, the My Club, My District clubs would be, I would recommend going there.
Yeah.
That'll have that soon.
Doesn't the register report give you that?
So there's two reports really that are on the login page. So on the login page on the right, there's a membership reports link that takes you to reports. And on reports, there's register reports and cumulative reports. Now those are, every district can see every district. So next year, we're hoping to bring that into MyLCI, so you can go to reports and run them specifically. But right now, it's available. So you click on register reports, you find the time frame you're looking for, find your district,
Yeah.
and
I want
same with
June
cumulative.
30th
Yeah.
list of clubs.
Yeah, the June 30th report will be out the first week of July. Yeah, it will be.
Ron Devo from the Ocala 200 Club in Florida. I have to prepare membership cards for my members. And are there any formatted cards with some kind of logo, some kind of something on it that I can use other than just a blank form?
Yeah, we do have, you can go out and buy like Avery cards, like supply store. And what we do is, when I show you the membership card page, it'll actually print their name, the Lions logo, and their good standing until date on those cards for you.
That'll come out as part of the regular process.
Right, so, yeah, so it's all gonna print on those cards for you as long as you choose the correct
And are
dimensions.
there indications as to which age group card I should get?
Actually, if you look at the bottom of the membership cards page, there's gonna be a link at the bottom. It says click here for help, I believe it is. It'll show you some dimensions that you can go out and purchase.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Print out like that, from a blank sheet, from a blank.
I have 3 questions. You still have to drop a member in order to transfer them? Is that the process? Because I find that for a lot of people seems to be confusing.
That is the quickest way. There is also a pending transfer. So if that member has not been dropped from their previous club, the other club can go in there and add them as a pending transfer. The pending transfer process, I believe, is 15 days.
30.
30?
I
30.
just did one.
Okay, so 30 days. And if that member has not dropped within those 30 days, he'll go into that new club as a member, and in the previous club, he'll be an associate member.
Okay, so the new club can pick him up or her up without the other club dropping?
Correct.
Okay, all right. And you can't see contact information for clubs that aren't yours. We had an individual that's working with Quest, and the schools across our district boundaries, they want to get contact information for clubs outside of our district, and he couldn't get that. Is that something that can be addressed?
Right now we're working, so you do have that My Clubs page now is going to be, or is, when we implemented new clubs, we created the new club application, we created the My District Clubs. So you now see who the club president is in every club in the district. Every club in your district.
Another district next door, you can't see that.
You can't see another
Are
district.
you ever going to be able to see that?
We're considering that. Right now we have privacy concerns that we're talking about.
Is this presentation going to be on that Registar, or is it on that Registar?
Oh, that USB device? I don't believe it is.
The USB?
No, I don't believe it is.
It'll be on the YouTube channel for both so youtube.com/LCICon, and it'll be on YouTube/Lions Clubs. It'll be on those 2 sites.
Okay. And you mentioned a while ago that you're going to take the membership reports and put them in LCI, MyLCI. Are you going to leave them where they are also?
Until we change the DG's training, yes.
So it's going to be to where Joe Lyon can't see that information eventually?
It will be that, yes.
Well, then,
But we'll also solve that issue with the privacy concern. So, this gentleman.
Thank you. Jari Ykkönen from MD 107, and I'm council chairperson next year, and also admin user of MyLCI. I have a few questions, but one of them concerns the PDF reports, concerning all reports. Why are they open in the same window where have you chosen those? Why don't they open in a separate window so that the user can see from where he or she has gone to that page?
Okay, so regarding reports, why they're opening in the same window?
Yes.
That's a browser setting you can change on your browser.
No.
Yeah, we are going to change that.
Yeah, thank you. I heard this also from Kevin Lindsay that you are going to say that, but when another question, I don't ask, well, I have many questions, but anyhow, one question is, for example, you have club directors who are the members of the club government. So why can't we can have in the club 5 or 10 club directors, but nobody does see which director is what. So we wish that you could write who is the tail twister and so on. Is there coming to change to that? So that like my guess to this question is that I can put on, for example, 3 club directors, but I cannot write what is his or her position in the club.
We do have local titles, which you can assign a certain member to. So if you have a different position other than what we have available on the officers page, you can create a separate title for your club.
Yes, I can work out that. Yes, but there is also club director. If you look there's club president, club secretary and so on, there is also club director. But I cannot write there what is his or her position.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, really, we don't have a way to edit those club director positions. So the only alternative would be to actually add a local title to your club.
Yeah, we'll take that into account, consideration, on allowing you to type in a position.
When a new club starts up, there's a protocol that LCI has for naming clubs. Is that going to be put out there somewhere so people can understand you can't name a club Central Mercer County because there is no such thing as Central Mercer County? There's Mercer County. They'll allow you to do that, but they won't let you say.
Right. Actually, we do have this little question mark right here. Once you click on that, it'll display all the information as to the rules and guides of naming a club. So that'll all be listed right there on the page for you.
I recently had a family unit that had to have the address changed. It allowed me to change it for one member, but not the other. And I actually got a message saying I could not do it. How do I change the other member's address?
Yeah, so the way it works is that we can only change the head of household's address. And once you change that, it'll automatically update the rest of the family unit's addresses.
But they have two different addresses on the page.
The home address is the one that's used for the family. So if they are an officer and they have a home and an officer address, only the home address is the one that's in sync with the family unit.
The husband has the right address, the wife is not, and I can't get it changed. Is it like that?
The husband's is right, and the wife is already part of the family unit?
Yes, when they moved, I could update his address, but it doesn't allow me to update hers.
Well, now,
So then it's different.
maybe you did it a while ago. If you do it now, update his address again, add a space, take the space away, it'll automatically update yours. Yeah.
Any other questions?
How far back in records does a member's service record go?
I believe that's what, since
Number of years.
2003?
Neither of us were there when they actually converted, so they had an old system, and not all of the dropped members got loaded in 2002, I believe it was, for the current system. So if you were an active member in 2002, you made it to the new system. In the old system, if you need to get past years of service, then you'll need to contact us, and we'll work with you to get your records corrected.
Yeah, that's what I had to do just recently.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
Sure, make me one.
I watch it for you. One of my questions is listing of offices that a person has had through the years. I've noticed that their current office is on the membership page, but if somebody has been tail twister in the past or a lion tamer in the past, is it going to start right now keeping track of all the offices somebody's had? Because when you go to be district governor or vice district governor, you need to know all the offices that you've had. And let's be truthful, we don't remember every year we were something.
Right. So all those officers will be in our database. So the way you can actually go about doing that is from our data download page. If you select to print data download, it'll show all the membership titles that you were assigned to. But for previous years,
Yeah, that shows their current titles.
Yeah.
We do have the records of the previous years, if it's an official headquarters title. So you mentioned the lion tamer. That's not a title we collect, so we wouldn't have that information. In the future, we are going to add a member history, and we'll show the officer history as well on that.
Okay.
Not quite sure what time frame is for that, but we will eventually be showing that.
So basically you're saying it's going to start now, and I understand that.
But we do
and
have,
into the future.
one of my big jobs is to help clubs, officers, learn this system. Associate member, we've had a situation that you described where a club member moved out of state, they didn't get him dropped, but eventually he shows on his original club as an associate member. But how do we remove him from that? Because there's no longer the option of edit or drop or whatever.
Right, so associate memberships is tracked from LCI headquarters through our database. So any kind of adds or drops for associate members has to go through our club officer and record administration departments.
And just one quick thing. Okay. We have situations where a club officer for next year does not have any contact information. So no telephone or email address is listed for them because of past years they just didn't bother to do that. Now we have we have the contact information for them, but we cannot update it until we what? Go into the membership side and update it there, and then it will automatically update for the club officer. Is that right?
That's correct.
We also, that's on our list to change, it's on the officer page to allow, if you have access to that, the ability to edit an address, we'll give you the ability to edit the address on the officer page.
Sorry, you allow a non-club officer to alter a club's records?
No, only, that's what I meant by allowed. So if I'm the club president and I'm assigning officers,
Yeah.
club president can edit member addresses, so therefore on the officer page will let it.
Yeah. In my case, I'm advising them how to do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I will be going in next week as new club president, and I'd like to make a suggestion to LCI that my year that I was first vice president, that I would have loved to have been able to access LCI just to see the reports that are going on in my club, what's being reported and everything. And I'd like to suggest to LCI that access it for your first vice president in a view-only mode, not able to edit reports. I think that would be wonderful to prepare future officers to use LCI. So right now, I've just got my password and I'm in the learning stage.
Actually, I grant that wish immediately. First vice, second vice, club membership chair, treasurer, secretary, president, all can use the system right now. So as a first vice president, you can register and you have read access to your club.
So I can go ahead and register my first vice when I am.
You can register, get yourself a username and password, go through the registration process if you haven't already. And if you have, go and log in, you'll have read access to your club. With the same password. But the first vice can log in.
Jari, one question. When does MyLCI open to all members?
Good question. The only thing I can say is less than 5 years from now, but hopefully it's a lot sooner than that.
It's not possible to change a member's birth date, is it?
We have several members that have got incorrect birthdays.
So directly on MyLCI on the edit member page, you can't edit that right then and there. We have a request to edit information, which you can actually go in there. There's a button next, I believe next to the year of birth. If you click on that button to request a change in member information, you can actually fill out the correct year of birth, correct name, whatever it may be, and that'll send an email to our club officer and record administration department, and they'll update the information for you.
If they approve.
I'll go to the close one first.
I don't know if this is the right time to ask the question or not, but this is my first year as a zone chair, and I have come across many clubs that are requesting or talking about terms, how long they can take that certain position and for how long, many years in a row that they can take that. Like president 1 year, can they keep going and for how long? Is there a length of time that a president should be, or secretary, how long? Because I'm finding out from certain clubs, things are going on, especially in the position of a treasurer. And it's very concerning. And so I'm wondering who to talk to about trying to get it stated in the rules and regulations of putting a time frame as to how long they can handle that position.
If it would be noted anywhere, it would be in our bylaws.
Currently, there is not a documented, so the people to talk to is District Club Admin. They have a booth at the headquarters booth in 316.
Okay.
There is a club health assessment report which gets emailed. I'm not sure which titles get an email for the club health assessment report. But on that report, it shows a number of years that the same president has been there at the club. And so that's your guide as a district officer that club probably needs a change, but we leave it up to you right now. I do know the division, the person in charge of district and club admin is interested in getting that policy changed. However, it's not a written rule.
I answer to your question about consent for the club officers. In MD 107 we have been discussing that, and it's club's own decision. So in the rules it's that our seasonal period is 1 year, 1 fiscal year, but if club decides there's no upgrade, I don't know the right word, but anyhow, it's club's decision on district level or MD level, it cannot be there. There we must follow the rules. That's the MD 107.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it should really boil down to the district and the clubs to make that choice.
I'm our club secretary, and our club recently chartered a new club. Is it my understanding that both the president and secretary have the ability to change things online?
For the new club?
Well, for any club, basically.
Yes, they can. If they're currently in newly chartered status, the president and secretary they have read-only access, so they can't add members or drop members or add officers, but only in newly chartered status.
Okay, they are a officially chartered club, but the president, for some reason, cannot do anything online. They have no ability to change anything, add anything, or anything.
Okay.
How do I get that changed?
Well, we have a process, so after 90 days from their charter date, then they'll have access to go ahead and...
It's been 90 days, and he still does not have any ability to edit anything.
Has he gone in and logged in and requested?
Yes, I was with him when he logged in, put in a password, everything else, but he does not have the ability to edit.
Maybe he holds more than one position and select a title, he needs to choose club president. Then I would suggest emailing the specific details to MyLCI at lionsclubs.org, and we'll research it. He should have
Yeah, he should have.
as an active club. If it's newly chartered still.
No, it's
then
past the 90 days. I mean, it was 90
Well,
days.
it's 90 to 97,
Well,
depending on when that
It was
process
90 days,
runs.
June 5th.
Okay. So June 12th, worst case scenario, should have been able to do it.
He cannot do it. Okay.
Hi, I have district administrator rights for my district, but it only gives me access to the Lions clubs. It doesn't give me access to the Leo clubs. Is it possible to get access to that as well? Because I'm forever getting phone calls with them wanting me to do stuff.
Yeah, I think that's something in our plans for the future. Currently, since Leo data, we want to keep that private, unless you're actually a Leo advisor or a member of the Leo club. But it is something in the future that we plan on doing, is allowing access to view Leo club information.
Yeah, right now, district level, only club level, and Leo clubs don't have access to Leo clubs right now. And we're working on that this year to decide what to allow district level people to see and do related to Leo.
I'm the president of one of the Lions in Egypt, and I'm asking about the password. Every year you change the password, and when I get in, nothing happens.
Okay, we no longer assign passwords. That we changed in 2010. So you create your own password now, and your password stays with you. So if you can't log in, I recommend using the forgotten password, and that will allow you to create a new password. Then again, I would contact MyLCI at lionsclubs.org, and they'll help you.
Any other questions?
Okay, I have a question. Has anybody in here used the new club application process yet? And how did you, and has that club become an active club?
Yes, it was very easy.
Excellent. Have any of you in here used the paper process to submit a new club? And how was that?
It was easy. The only thing now that we are finding trouble with was the 90-day pending status that we had, so I had to keep on sending information to LCI for them to put everything in.
And that's
we have a lot of service information that we need to put in that.
And that's really what we tried to solve, is the time from club application to club is in the system. So I strongly recommend give it a try on MyLCI.
Is there anything in the process that is going to stop using paper?
Everything in the process will stop using paper before I retire. We're tackling things one by one, so member application is next.
Cool. Can you still get member applications on paper?
You could load the PDF and print it. I believe you can also order it online.
You can order it online?
I believe so.
Yeah,
So that's another one to go to District and Club and ask them, how do I get a member application?
Because I noticed that
I can
online,
answer
I
that.
can't find it otherwise.
I request a lot of applications to LCI, and basically what I got is you go into administration, clubs administration, I think. You just send them an email and ask, send me 50 member applications, and they will send it to you free of charge.
We usually bring them to the local forum, so if you actually attend a forum, you may be able to get them there as well.
Even in the printed form you get.
Yes.
What is the signature activity?
Signature activity, basically that's kind of what I view as a template for activities. So if your club does a certain activity maybe each month or every other month, instead of typing in the activity from scratch all the time, you can enter in a signature activity, and you can select that from the list when entering your activity, and it will pre-fill most of the information for you. Pretty much all you got to input is the numbers, like line hours, members served.
And actually, a district can create a signature activity, then every club in the district can use that signature activity. So if every club in the district has a tree planting initiative, for example, the district can create a tree planting signature activity, then every club can choose that district tree planting activity, and all they'll have to do is change the description maybe and enter the data values, number of trees planted and so on.
That works in multiple districts as well.
Multiple district right now we don't have that, but we're considering that.
Any other questions? Okay, I think that's it. If you have any more questions afterwards,